So this is a Case 550H dozer that I bought, 2002 model, and it's got a lot of leaks. It's leaking right, this hose here, this metal hose, it's already had one replaced. There's a rubber hose, it's supposed to be another metal one there, but they've replaced that one already, and this one's leaking. I think there's fluid dripping. And when I bought it, after I got it home, it was leaking out of this torque converter housing. As you can see, I've removed the bail off of it, the end of it. I've been cleaning on it all day. And it's got these blocks, and there's hydraulic hoses going into these. And then there's where the shaft for the takeoff drive shaft goes in there, and a pump sits in here. Down in there's where your pump is for a transmission, which is this here. The shaft, this shaft here comes all the way through and into the torque converter. Torque converter slides up into this when you put this housing on this, it's sticking out and it slides up into the torque converter. And there's just enough room to get it out. They've got slots in the frame, sides of the frame, to be able to take this out without having to remove the engine. Got to take a lot of hydraulic hoses loose. This bearing on this is rough. It's not smooth, so it's got to be replaced. And most all the O-rings on this thing are leaking. It has the O-ring type seals with like a washer that goes down against them. I'll show you this. This is the way they all, and most all these are like plastic. They've been in there so long they've hardened and turned into plastic pretty much, and so a lot of them are not sealing. So I'm going to replace every O-ring that I can, because it was just dripping out the bottom of this bail housing like drip, 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 drip. I think I've got a video of it, but it's dripping pretty quickly. And these two hoses here, these went up to the front from the, these go from the bail housing, that piece there. These go up to the radiator, and the radiator's got a cooling connection up there where it runs the fluid through the radiator for the transmission. It's up and under here. Can't really see. Well, there's the fitting right there. And in this pump, so the motor mounts are all bad on this, and this is dropped down. Let me see if I can get a light. The pump is down against the frame of the dozer, the front of it there. There's the fitting right there that I took those hoses loose from. One on each side. It circulates the fluid through there, I guess. But this is for the blade, this pump here. The other pump's for the transmission. It's got two separate systems on it. I think the blade system holds like 40 quarts and the transmission holds 32 quarts. But this hydraulic pump for the blade is leaking back there on the shaft where it's driven. And I think maybe somebody might have replaced that one. I've already had to replace some hoses like that. Well, when I first bought it, when I got it home, it was leaking out of here real bad, and I had to replace these hoses here to put new filters on. and that stopped that leaking. So this thing was just filthy. I didn't realize how really dirty it was. I mean, everything was just covered, caked in dirt. I mean, even up in here, you wouldn't think this would be. There was just mud and dirt just caked all over everything. I pressure washed this thing for like a few hours, probably 3 or 4 hours. It's just caked. The engine was just caked. You couldn't even see the yellow paint. I mean, you can see where I pressure washed and shot some of the paint off. Everything was just caked. Here's all the. Had to take a lot of stuff loose to get it out, and I'm gonna replace several of these hoses while I got it out. Would be a wise thing to do because a lot of them are just hard. Everything's leaking. I can't see there's the pump over in there. That's where it's leaking. Right with that. Right there. Right there. That spline shaft is leaking out of that decent little leak. So I got to replace that. But it's got 5,800 hours on it. Got it from the original owner. He swore that it was a good dozer. I don't know. It's tight. This control is pretty tight. It's not just wore out. You know, it has a little play maybe, but not what I would call terrible. The blade is pretty tight. It's not terribly loose. A lot of the cylinders have been rebuilt. That one. Like I said, the blade seems pretty tight. It is a wide track, which I didn't really want a wide track, but that's what I've got. I'm not going to complain. Tracks are 20 inches wide. A long track is 16 inches wide, I think. Oh, that don't want to work ever. I don't know why them won't work. Harbor Freight. But there's down in there's where the other end of the drive shaft goes to run the transmission, where I sprayed that yellow paint on there. And over there is one brake housing, and over here is the other brake housing. There's two brake housings kind of sticking out there. That's the brake housing. This is your high and low range right here. And then you just got your levers up there that those first two levers right there, they're your high and low on your tracks. So and then you got neutral in the middle. And then you just got your shifter, which goes either forward or reverse. It's supposed to weigh 14,600 pounds with a full tank of fuel and an operator and wide track model. I think the long track is 14.3 or something like that. It's got pretty good undercarriage under it. Well, he said he just replaced, only had a couple hundred hours on it. That's what he told me. Looked like that track tensioner up there has been replaced on the other side. This one still looks original, and I'm missing 2 track guards on this side on the back. Look like the bolts are broke out of them. Have to heat that up and try to get it out. Maybe. I like to have the guards on there. I don't guess they replaced the grousers, but I think the sprockets and the rails have been replaced. I think this is the cheaper model of rail. I don't know where the main pin is. From what I talked to somebody that supplied them, I can't remember what the name of the company was, but they told me that the cheaper rails have a pin you drive in, and the higher quality ones have the alligator clamps, you know, where you just put bolts in and clamp them together. I was hoping they would be the better ones, but well, this is a solid piece here. I don't know if that's the main pin or look like all the rest of them are got holes, but that one's solid. I don't know, but sure would like to get to use it. It has a hole in the blade. It was bent back in, and I welded some bolts and took and heated it up and beat it back out and got the hole closed up pretty good. I haven't tried to weld it back together. It's got a real good cutting edge on the blade. It's in good shape. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. Crawling up under it. Took my creeper and made me a little headrest. It sure does make it a lot nicer. Be able to rest your head while you're laying up under there. We got oil dry down there right now. Let's see. Probably can't see much. There's the torque converter. Like I say, it wasn't terrible to get out, considering could have been worse. My son helped me get it out. You pretty much need 2 people to be able to get it out. This was just covered with mud and dirt. Everything up in there was just covered in mud and dirt. If you see that dirt right there, everything, let's see how, you can see the dirt there. Everything was just thick layer of it, especially the frame rails was just covered in dirt. Like I said, it was just really, I couldn't believe how terrible it was. I could keep talking about that, but it just, but I'm glad to have it. Just want to try to get the leak stopped more than anything else. It's supposed to work good. I haven't even used it, so I hope it works good. All right, well, that's just what I wanted to show you, so there you go.